What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Today, we're going to be doing our Week 4 previews, previews, whatever we want to call these. I don't even know, because honestly, at this point, is it even a review? Are we reviewing the weeks or reviewing a game? Are we reviewing one player? I don't know. You guys tell us what you think about these reviews. We want to know what your thoughts are.
You're trying to confuse me. That's what's going on.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. That's the type of mood I'm in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As always, me and Carter are joining you tonight on this special night after a great week of football up here in the Great White North. I'm going to kick it off, just getting into it. I love that BC-Ottawa game. It was so much fun. I knew it was going to be a fun game. I knew because of how well Ottawa matched up against the Bombers in their 2 losses that honestly could have been 2 wins for them. I knew that the Lions, based on how they were playing, that this was a big test for them. If the Lions could play well against the Ottawa team that Winnipeg barely beat, I think it would set up the stage nicely for upcoming Saturday's game against the Bombers and Lions, and I was right. This was a really good game. I thought it was a good growing game for Nathan Rourke. He made some mistakes in this, but he was always calm. He bounced back, and I just really like the way that the Lions played in this game. They had their composure. They played the same way they played in every game, but at the same time, they made mistakes and were able to adapt, which is something that they hadn't been doing in those blowouts. So I really think that this was a good test for them going into a really tough opponent for next week. And you know, for the Red Blacks, like, ugh, I don't even know what to say about that. Like it just sucks. Like, you deserve a win at this point, guys. It just sucks that you've played these 2 teams. That's the only way to put it. Like, they could be 3-0. They could be 3-0, but they're not. Like, it's just they got the short end of the stick on every single draw.
Exactly. And you know what? At least this game was competitive for them.
Exactly.
You know,
but that's, you know what, though? We're saying that, I'm looking at it on the outside, but I can imagine that if I'm a Red Blacks fan, I would be pissed.
Of course, if you're a fan, you know, you want to win. But,
absolutely.
you know, it is what it is.
Exactly. But yeah, I thought it was a really good game. I took obviously the Lions in this game in our preview. In our previews, we both took the Lions. We're both one for one so far on this Week 4 previews. But yeah, this was a great game. Carter, what were your thoughts on the other games, man? I'd love to hear them.
Well, for our next game, we do have Edmonton versus Hamilton. So, man, Hamilton's in trouble.
I told you they would be
in trouble. Man, I thought that maybe Edmonton would put up a fight and that Hamilton would finally get their first win. But going 0-4 and having that loss against the Elks, ouch, that hurts. And this really, it is being quite surprising at how much the East has fallen. I think there's no surprise that the East was going to be weaker than the West. But I didn't expect it to be to this degree, to the point where we had Elks beating the Ticats. You know, this is not good for Hamilton.
Not good is an understatement. This is a disaster. This is a nuclear bomb going off in Tim Hortons Field, or whatever their name of the stadium is. Is it Tim Hortons? I thought it was Ottawa for a second, but I felt bad. That's, I think, TD or whatever. But nonetheless, enough about stadium talks. Yeah, I agree with you, man. This game was brutal to watch, because it's like, you're watching it and you're like, okay, Hamilton's gonna come back, right? Like, it's okay, you know, like especially because it was 16-6 at the end of the first quarter.
They got nothing but field goals for the rest of the game.
Like, come the fuck on, like seriously, that is terrible.
Yep.
Like, no excuse, no excuse.
Yeah. And giving up 2 touchdowns in that last quarter, you can't do that. You can't give up 2 in the last quarter. It's just, you can't expect to win a game like that.
To an Elks team that's that bad.
We're talking about, maybe
not
Hamilton's
good.
Going to be taking the spot at last in the league.
I think that's a safe bet at this point. I know we're only 4 weeks in, but like, it has looked rough, and they can turn it around. Like I said, they could go on a 4-week win streak. They're back up to 500, and then after there, who knows? Because the rest of the East is a crap shot too at this point, because they're all bad. Like we're gonna get into Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that. But the East has got its own problems, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure.
Well, I think that's going to take us into our next matchup, which is Montreal versus Saskatchewan. Now, this game was fun because I kind of thought Montreal could I took Montreal as the underdog, in the last week's matchup against Saskatchewan in the
I was
in
about
the
to say, I
back to
think you
back.
took Saskatchewan this week.
I did
along
take
with myself.
Saskatchewan. I took
Yeah,
Saskatchewan. So again, I believe I'm 3 for 3. I thought the
for
Elks
sure.
could surprise, but I didn't take them. I took the safe pick, and
Yeah.
thank God I did. Um, but nonetheless, this game was just fun because it's like
Yeah.
Montreal's a good team this year. They're not bad. Like the East is a shit show, but Montreal's the one team that I'm actually enjoying watching this year compared to the
It's
other
funny,
ones.
and I expected Montreal would be
Me too.
probably the
I thought
last out of the
Montreal would be
East.
the most
On
unentertaining team in
paper,
the
they are the
CFL.
worst team in the East, but it's because they're not playing like absolute dog shit like the rest of the
They're
East.
playing
They're
with.
actually doing
They
fine.
actually give a shit about and like even when they're in a game like this, getting doubled out in points, 41-20, the final for the Rough Riders.
Without Stanback.
They still tried. Like this wasn't a
Yeah.
game where like the Rough Riders just had an easy victory. If you look at the points
course
total,
not.
you'd think that, but like you look at you look around at the points. Like at the end of the first quarter, Montreal's winning 10-7. Second quarter rolls around, it's 3 points, one field goal for Montreal, and then Saskatchewan gets 4 points.
Take out the third quarter. This is an extremely
Exactly.
tight game.
And third quarter, Saskatchewan just locked down Montreal. They put up nothing.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not going to say that Montreal is some team that's going to surprise, but I don't know. In Saskatchewan, 20,000 fans at Mosaic, and they held their ground for like at least the first half. I'll give them credit, and especially considering the fact that they were able to hold on to a lucky win last week. It's nice they were able to leave 1-for-1
Yeah.
out of Saskatchewan. I think that's exactly what they'd want to
and
be at. If they
I
couldn't get
forgot
two
to
wins.
mention this with the Elks beating the Ticats. I think this pretty much solidifies that we're going to have a team from the West
Oh,
going
absolutely.
into the East.
Absolutely.
No
It's
question.
probably going to be Calgary.
Yeah, might be.
Like,
We'll have to see how the rest of the season goes. Teams are going to have ups and downs, but
I don't
I'm
see the
curious
Elks
for that.
coming back, though. But yeah, you're right. Definitely going to be a long
because
season.
it's going to be BC, Saskatchewan, Calgary, and Winnipeg, and I don't know what order that's going to be in. It's going to be those four. So the question is now going into our next game, though, which is Winnipeg versus Toronto. So Winnipeg narrowly edging out a victory over the Argos.
This game. This game
I
was
have
a
so
shit
many
show.
mixed emotions in this game because it started out the Bombers were doing quite well to start. Now, keep in mind, about at least half of that is because Toronto just was falling all over themselves to the point where they eventually started fighting themselves. I'm looking at you, Brandon Banks. But on the sidelines, that's never a good look. But, I mean, McLeod Bethel Thompson was absolutely abysmal in this game. For the one touchdown pass he threw was really more of an interception. Even if you say that counted, you can't say that throw is an accurate throw. There's no
I know.
discussion.
It's like
that's a bad throw.
Also, I'm just gonna say one little thing. Ball don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't a clean fucking thing. If it was, then you would have hit that field goal and it would have been overtime. But the ball don't lie. You don't hook a shot that bad without karma being on your side. Let me just say that.
Yeah. And so, interesting choice though. And I mentioned this to you earlier, Jake. Interesting choice going for the kicking convert on that, just because if that goes to overtime, with the way that McLeod Bethel Thompson's playing, I don't think Toronto wins that in any situation in overtime.
No way. But
so the question is that
the way Andrew Harris is
Andrew
running,
had a fantastic performance. I don't know why they didn't just go for the 2 point.
Because Andrew Harris has not been very good in the clutch this season. He got stopped 3 attempts in a row on the BC one, and they turned over the ball on the BC one. Same team a week ago.
But to be fair, though, Andrew Harris playing against BC and Andrew Harris playing against Winnipeg is a different breed.
I know.
Andrew Harris, I would argue in
Still
that
a
game.
former club, but I'm just saying that like he wasn't able to do that then, and I know that.
Well, do you think they have a better chance if Harris goes for the 2 point, or do you think they have a better chance of them going for the kicking convert and then going?
I think the Bombers' defense would have stopped them. I think they would.
I think they have a better chance with the 2 point.
I don't see it. I don't see the run game. I think that this though it's tomato. Like they lost, they went with it, but I don't think they won it either way. I just don't see them winning that game. Not in overtime, and sure as heck not in regulation with a 2-pointer.
Nice to see Winston Rose show up. That was great.
Well, shout out to the guys behind Carter at the or whatever that was ripping Winston Rose. Or maybe it was someone else that told me. Someone was at a game I know, and the guy behind it was just like, Winston Rose trash the whole time. And then he was like, I hope that guy is just eating his words.
Winston Rose was not playing so great, but, it seems like him sitting out that one game really served him well. So hopefully we see him in a big performance next week, but we'll get into that in another video.
You'll be, yes.
Exactly.
But I agree with you, my friend. This is a good matchup of week of football. There was some good games spaced out in the week, and I really think that this upcoming week will be very, very good too for week 5. Not getting into it too much for the spoilers for the preview, but Calgary Edmonton on week 5, Ottawa Saskatchewan, and on the Saturday game on Family Day out in BC Place. It's not the holiday Family Day, but it is BC's Family Day event. Saturday, July 9th, 4 p.m. The 4-0 teams in the West facing off to see which team will remain undefeated. So it's going to be a hell of a game on Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a week of football. So make sure to subscribe, regardless of the team that you root for up here in the Great White North, because we're going to be covering all the news. Don't you worry about it. We'll have live reactions from the Bombers BC game, from Carter's channel, and from my perspective. So it's going to be a fun one. We hope you enjoyed this review of the past week 4 games. Thank you so much for watching. For both of us, peace, love, and positivity as always. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next one.